She goes spin and flies, rise at the lights. Every night you fight, favorite sight, vivid sights, baby show him an escapade. Fancy arcade, pixelated party, lesson made unafraid. Karaoke screams, singing themes, heart and sleeves. Anime dreams, person seams, city gleams, dancing screams, endless streams, less extreme, Saturday gleams. So it's day gleams, so it seems nothing reams. Raise the channel, riot loud, crowd unbowed, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound, youth unbound, joy profound, I'm lost and found. Channel raver on the prowl, echoes howled.
Good morning, my nerdlets. It is I, the OGGM, joined by Steve the Cat. It is another foggy Monday morning here at Site B. It's about 9:30, and we're taking our first look at Horde Wars. DM Blackwell reached out to me the other day, asked me if I wanted to have him on the channel to talk about Horde Wars, how to get a game to be successful, his sudden rise of fame, and superheroes. I have heard nothing but good things about Horde Wars. I know it's a D12 system doing the whole OGL, OSR, classic fantasy type thing. He has been interviewed by several people who I respect. He's earned a little anger from our favorite carrioneater. So obviously he's doing something right. But other than that, I don't know anything about Horde Wars. But I am comparing it to, other games that I've received copies of or downloaded from the big thing or whatever. So, yeah, let's take a look at Horde Wars. My first impression, whatever. We know that I suck at reviews. So let's go. This was $7. I did pay for it on drive-through. So, yeah, this is the basic rules or the quick start rules I get. It's about 197 pages, I believe. 194. Okay, so blah. Now it's a D12 system. Other than that, and it's, fantasy. Old school fantasy. Okay, simple. Okay, start off with a table of contents. Apparently, I need to improve my table of contents for the next product I release. I just received a review of Pog Wars and said definitely needed a better table of contents. Okay, game rules. Chapter 1. D12 plus skill. All right. Why D12? Did he just, is he like me? Just feel sorry for it? It's like, oh, D12. You never really get any love, do you? There's at least one other system. Doesn't Lady Blackbird use a D12? I'm going to say yes. So that's it. Roll 1D12 versus task plus modifiers. Simple. Attribute check, circumstance bonuses, other bonuses, targets, turns and rounds, actions. So explaining how everything's wished. Would I put this at the beginning? No, I wouldn't. But okay, movement. All right. So we got the rule, the core chunky stuff first. It's an unusual choice. It's not the first game I've seen recently that chose to do it this way. I don't know if this is the best way. We've got some just world building stuff, travel times, range increments. We got like the DM screen first, sort of maneuvers, combat, how to do all the stuff, death and dying. All right, we're 5 pages in, still don't know why D12 or how to make a character. General rules, weather, blindness, carrying capacity. It's using this. He looks like he's using gear slot. We've got small, standard, and bulky items. Unless otherwise noted, 6 small items count as 1 standard item. One bulky item counts as 2 standard items. Every 50 coins also counts as a standard item. A character can carry a number of maximum standard times equal to 8 plus his finesse. So gear slots. Gear slots seem to be getting more and more popular as more and more of us are introduced to the hobby through video games. And through video games, we know that most video games do encumbrance through gear slots. You have a number of squares that you can put. And 1 gear slot can hold, to use Minecraft, 65 sticks of dirt or 1 sword. And most video games that use gear slots, it's the same logic. I can fill 1 gear slot with, a couple hundred coins, or I can fill 1 gear slot with 1 weapon. So several hundred coins equals the same amount of weight side. Yeah, it doesn't work when you think about it, but whatever. It makes it a lot easier. I do love them. And they're fun to mess around with. Like, how many gear slots is it going to take me to walk off with this bathtub? How many gear slots is a car? Because my character's strong enough to lift a car, you know. We got the creature types. We got a little goblin king here. Goblins are the first art we see. So plus 1,000. We've got the goblin king pointing to goblins. So yeah, already. It's the first piece of art we've seen. We're 11 pages in. So not a lot of art going on, which I'm fine with. And the first piece of art, yeah, so plus 1,000. It's got art, goblin. Damage times defense. So we're now 12 pages in. I still don't know how to make a character, but I know how to play the game. So we've got the DM section first. Unusual choice, but this is not the first game that I've seen doing this. All right, second piece of work, we've got bugs. So is this the new thing to put the crunchy bits first and then character creation second? And oh, my phone's ringing. 415. Hello.
Hello, may I speak with Michael?
How can I help you?
Michael, my name is Manish. I'm calling from Nelson Connect.
What, from where?
I'm calling from Nelson Connect. My name is Manish. I came across your resume on the Career Builder, and I just wanted to discuss the exciting job opportunities with you for the calibration associate with Avatar. So I just want to know that.
I don't have that. I'm not a medical person. I think you have the wrong number. I'm looking for part-time work, but thanks for calling. We'll just block that. Blah, blah, blah. Rules, traps. Definitely got a lot of rules. Somebody who's building a game definitely might want to look at this and see stuff. I can see things that I could definitely add. Character creation. All right. Player character. Pick your species. Then we got fighting styles, languages, calculate your hit points, choose your careers, choose your skills, choose additional fighting styles and languages, choose your starting equipment, calculate your carrying capacity, pick a feature, beyond first level, what you get when you level up, perks. You gain a perk at every even number character level. Abilities granted by items can't be the subject of perks. And these are the different ones you can pick. And then some, rules notes and optional rules and stuff like that. I like that. Definitely a fan of building the character through examples. That's something that I did a little in Pog Wars, and I'm going to do more in the product that I'm working on now. I definitely like any game that shows me quick, simple, how to build the character with examples. If those examples even have art, and that art is kind of funny, even if it's stick figures, that's great. But yeah, I want to see a flowing step-by-step to help me build a character. So already I like that, and not a lot of art. So, and you know how I feel. I don't mind art, but I think too much art. I think less is more than art. All right, so our species are human, of course. And all the little special abilities I get for being a human. Dwarfs, okay, and all the little special abilities I get for being a dwarf. Elfles, elven special abilities. Halfling. Orc. Orcs are player characters. No, orcs are bad guys. The only good orc is one that you get to smash. And then we have our careers. Acolyte, which is our spiritual character. Archer. Assassin. Assassin's not a career. Anybody can be an assassin. And it should be an NPC, but whatever. It's not my world. It's not my game. Blade Master, skilled swordsman. Crusader. Crusader spend, I guess that's her take on paladins. You're our faithful warriors imbued with the power of their god to lay down the holy lawful good smack. Deep Delver is our dungeon scout. Explorer who goes and seeks things, and not quite a rogue, but our dungeon scout or deep delver. Remember we were talking the other day that the word thief and what the thief in the game does don't really match. So he's using deep delver as opposed to dungeon scout. So this is his dungeoneer class, guy whose job is basically just survive the dungeon, find the traps. I like that. Huntsman. All right. It's our dedicated hunter skill tracker, bounty hunter type thing. So sort of our rager. Our knight. So just a warrior who's trained to serve in a specific style, heavy armor. Does that need to be in its own separate character class? I mean, anybody can be a knight. You know, but again, I don't know. I mean, obviously he's trying to emulate a certain theme. Some of these I'd be like, that's not a class. That's you know, if I was running a game again, I wouldn't, you know, these would be backgrounds. Mercenary. So sort of a roguish fighter. Monk. And this is a classic monk, not a martial arts monk. It says scribe and scholar, dedicated to the preservation of knowledge. They get ancient lore and scribe. And we got our priest, the most broken character in the game. Let's see if that is true for his game. You get an action called Sunblast, where you get to attack twice. And if it's a critical, they're blinded. You got Healing Touch, and you got Raise Dead that you can do once a day. Without seeing the other stuff, I can say, okay, I mean, yeah. But, you know, also as a priest, I get to wear the same armor and blah, 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 and do all the thing. Priest. I tried to explain to my niece last night why Cleric was the best class in the game and why Gelatinous Cube is the best monster in the game, but she did not agree with me, even after I went through step by step, because there's nothing a priest can't do. A priest gets the best of everything. Because there's nothing Gelatinous Cube can't do, and there's no situation that a Gelatinous Cube slime monster can't be used. But, you know, she's only on her second year of D&D, so yeah. A Skald, the warrior poet, that's what the bard should be, or at least one type of bard. Tavern Wench as a character class? Guess. Or maybe just as a profession. Thief. The professional burglar type, what a thief should be. Viking. Viking is a class or a background or a culture. And of course, they have Berserker. So this is her Berserker. A warlord, like your military commander. Wizard. And we're going with the color wizards, which are, you know, video games and some series of books. We got the blue wizard, we got the brown wizard, Radagast, the brown, the unnamed blue wizards, which actually, you know, Talisigal, the gray wizard, Gandalf, the white wizard, Saruman, the red wizard. Was there a red wizard in Middle Earth? No, but there's red wizards of Thay. Those would be your fire magic wizards from like Final Fantasy. White wizard, Saruman. Then we have your skills. We got a little dwarf. Not a lot of art like that. Clear, clean, crisp. Everything seems to be simple and explained. Definitely giving me a little like I need to up my game in some things. World, yeah, you know what? The different features characters get. These would be like your feats or whatever in D&D, or your special abilities you pick up every couple levels. How you personalize each one of your characters. So your I hit it with a stick guy is different than that person's I hit it with a stick guy, even though we're both basically hitting things with stick. One guy went for heavy armor. I hit him with heavy sticks guy. And the other guy went for I'm quick and fast, light armor, wielding 2 sticks. And the third guy's got the bow. And he's like, no, I throw my sticks at range. So yeah, these allow you to, you know, specialize and individualize your character. Nothing wrong with those. We got some gear. He calls his money marks. We got some example weapons. Always a fan of a good equipment section. Clothing. He did include clothing. Lots of games forget that. Containers. Miscellaneous stuff. You know, the stuff no adventurer would leave home without. Some simple potions like antitoxin. So I was going to design a fantasy game. I'd definitely be looking at this for advice, at least one of them. Tools. Vehicles and steeds. How to be a game master. Typical section. NPC personalities. Where we were 68 things in. I don't think it's, I'm not seeing anything I'm actually 100% against. Unusual choice on the layout with the fluffy bits first, then the crunchy bits. We got some example monsters. Some things, I'm like, why does that, that's nothing really innately wrong. It's just things that don't work for me because, I'm a OCD curmudgeon. But I'm not seeing anything that's glaringly dumb or wrong or whatever. And dinosaurs. And notice he includes the art for the dinosaurs. So obviously he thinks dinosaurs are cool because dinosaurs are cool, right? Everybody loves dinosaurs. Even people who say they don't like dinosaurs, you like dinosaurs. So, and notice dinosaurs get the art. So obviously, yes, dinosaurs. Plus 1,000 more experience points. And look at us. Now that we're gone from dinosaurs, the art seems to be tapering off. We got some birds. The bugs are back. No, I was wrong. Looks like he did do art for the monsters. But I guess monsters deserve a little art. Looks like he found an artist of his own. That's cool. Either has a pet artist or is artistically talented himself or can afford to pay for an artist. I used to have a pet artist. I miss those days. So we got our monsters, blah, 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 blah. The usual. Hi, Steve. Dogs, cats, dragons, slime, undead. Named dragons. His own made-up monsters, flowers, slime, undead. Yeah, just goblins. More goblins. Yes. More goblins. As the Goblin King, I greatly appreciate the goblins. Minotaur, Medusa, Ogre, Ooze, Undead, all my favorites. Nothing really jumping out at me as like, wow, that's awful. So good, clean, crisp layout. Just enough art to do the job without being so overbearing that you're wasting space. No meandering self-gratification, just clean, clear, to the point. Oh, I like this. The way he did this. Each individual species, it's got its own little section. Dwarves and all the different types of dwarves, elves and all the different types of elves, halflings and all the different types of halflings, orcs, etc., barbarians, commoners, mercenaries, maybe too many pages. Excuse me. We get our treasure section. Our magic item generation thing, our artifacts. Some description of what the artifact abilities do and the magic abilities do. So pretty typical layout standard fantasy RPG layout. Clean, again, very clean, very crisp, very laid out professionally. No unnecessary art. Visually fine. Nothing is screaming and making my brain hurt. Everything is easy to look at. Laid out well. Very professional. You got an example adventure. An example map. We're into one page of page 174. And this is the $7 version, which means that there's a bigger version with more stuff, or at least more art. So he doesn't, you know, he definitely takes his time to walk us through and present us everything we need. Here are some character record sheets for the NPCs. This kind of feels like some wasted space. This could have been smaller. You know how I feel about wasted space. Then here's the example character record sheet. And that's it. All right. So on my first view of Horde Wars, I like everything I see. Nothing spits out at me as being glaringly awful. It's easy on the eyes. It's crisp. It's clean. It's well laid out. It looks very professional. If this was on a stack of games and I opened this up and I started flipping through it, I would probably go, could use a little more art. Table of contents is nice. You know, this is a little too much. Why is this here? Some people might be off on this, where, you know, was this like, almost 20 pages before I get to make a class, make a character. I would do, you know, 1, 2, 3 pages, then character, then fluff, then mechanics, then more fluff. But that's just me. But if I had to look at 100 different games, you know, I don't know how I feel like this. I mean, plus it's very well laid out. And if I wanted to come in and start running, just talks me through it. So within, you know, 10, 20 minutes. But, you know, on the other hand, it's like maybe a little more art wouldn't have hurt. Maybe a little bit more character creation, and then examples, world crunchy spits. Do we ever explain why a D12? Yeah. So yeah, why D12? That would probably be the first thing I would do, is why D12? Why D12? I felt sorry for it. It worked, and the math worked in my head. Arbitrary, you know. Bell curve is bell curve. It really doesn't matter what dice you use. You know. So that would be an interesting question for me to ask him, is why D12? But yeah, the only things that really stand out as me is like, from my personal, like, would I pass this on up production? A little bit more art, maybe layout different. I don't know how I feel about seeing all the crunchy math first before character building. I think character building should be first and crunchy math should be second. But that doesn't take away from it. Maybe it could have been less crunchy math, maybe more of a, I mean, because this is a 194 pages and it's the smaller version. There is a larger version which got more information in it. And, you know, that's when we're getting to the case of too much information. Does it say what it needs to say without boring me? Or after 10 pages, which is, you know, usually a good judge of game, am I like, I still don't know how to make a character. I still don't know what we're doing. I still don't know anything, you know. I learned the flavor of the game through character creation, skill sections, and of course powers, because I'm a superhero thinker first and foremost. I'm always looking at role-playing games going, can I hack this into a superhero role-playing game? Right. It's just something I unconsciously do. Can I make Spider-Man? How does this game emulate the feel of a grungy, low power, low magic fantasy role, horde rolls with horde rolls? Well, considering how well it's selling and how many amazing reviews it's gotten, obviously there are other people out there who think this is great. So that's a good thing. From a personal point of view, I haven't heard anything bad about the individual. He's never been unkind to anybody I know. He seems like a relatively cool guy. He obviously likes goblins. He obviously likes superheroes, since he reached out to me to ask me if I wanted to talk about superheroes in his system. Definitely a fan of the less is more art school, the crisp, clean, black on white. Just this is, a document. It's both a help and a hindrance. I mean, again, a little bit more art, but other than that, yeah, I think, yeah, my main gripe is why is the crunchy bit first and the character building second? And if that's my only gripe from first read through, would I pass this on up to the next level of production if this was on my sheet, stack of character books? And I had to review like 20 a day, like I did in the past, or 20 scripts a day when I was working for the industry. I'd say be willing to give this a second chance. Like any role-playing game, I need to see it played. So I'm sure there's some live plays I need to watch. But then I have the guy coming on Friday at 3:00 my time. So if you've got any questions for DM Blackwell for Friday, links down below to the live stream, links down below to his channel. Horde Wars, check it out. D12 OGL dungeon crawly, grim gritty type game, which seems to be the bread and butter of the industry right now. Why a D12? We don't know, but we'll find out. Why the layout the way he did? We don't know, but we'll find out. All in all, it looks awesome, and I can't wait to talk to him some more. So if you've got some free time Friday, come on by and listen to me make a fool of myself talking to DM Blackwell. See ya.
Electric beats, bustle streets, endless streets, midnight beats, living heat, hearts beat, bleed, polyphonic meets, cyber beats, rhythm sweet, Saturday seats, beat retreats, makes us complete. Blazing trails, no fails, neon veils, waves of gales, color tales, joy sails, endless rails, like prevail, Saturday sail, we hail breaking jails. Break the shadow, riot loud, crowd unbound, techno sound, pulses pound, dream astound, youth unbound, joy profound.